Hello, everyone. Here we are at the Global Empowerment Summit, this time with Viktor Hus. I'm really happy to have you here, Viktor. We are connecting from far, far away. You are also on the other side of the world. And I'm really happy to greet you here. And just tell us a little bit about your day. How was it until now?
Yeah, okay, thank you. It's also great honor for me to participate in this reputed summit, and I kindly thankful for invitation to attend as speaker. It's honor for me. Okay, and my day is not too bad. It's sunny, but it's early morning in my country right now. Yeah.
Perfect. How is the weather?
The weather is fine today. It's sunny, not rainy, because previously we had several days with cold and rainy. It was not good, not good both for somatic health and not good for mental health.
So tell us where you are tuning in so that the audience knows the country, that why I'm saying you are so far away.
Yeah, okay.
Just tell us where you are tuning in. I was asking about your country, where you are tuning in, so that the people know which country are you calling from.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get you clearly. So I am living in Ukraine. It's a country in Eastern Europe, and okay, now it is morning in my country, and I would like to say that. Okay, our country is doing the attempt to join EU Union and to be part of EU Union. So what else? I don't know what is interesting for you about my country, about population. It's about 40 millions of people are living in Ukraine officially, because a lot of are in migration in different regions of the world.
That's beautiful. So we are here because you prepared some presentation, because we partnered up for this year, and you are joining in with us with the Mental Health Summit that you prepared, the conference. So you will tell us more about it, the 5th International Mental Health Conference and your organization. And I will let you just do your presentation. The stage is yours.
Yes, thank you. Yes, surely. I am happy to introduce my activities, not only my country, but also my own activities. I am this year I was elected as director at large for World Federation for Mental Health, and at the same time I am editor-in-chief of the journal Mental Health Global Challenges. I am coordinator of the International Platform Mental Health, and I am working in several academic and research institutions of Ukraine and Italy. So I don't. Ukraine not. Receive a great deal of my attention in my activities, but I try to share my activities all over the world. And I would like to introduce my conference. It is an international conference on mental health care, mental health global challenges of 21st century. This conference was established in 2017, and this year we have a fifth edition of this conference. I would like to say that this conference is not like traditional conference that have only some temporal frameworks. For example, in October or in June or in some date of this month. My conference is established as continuing act. So we have not only temporal event in October each year annually, but we do some activities between these conferences. And I would like to say that we have a lot of very reputed organizations in our participants. I mean, World Health Organization, National Coalition for Reform of Ireland, University of Manitoba, a lot. And briefly, I would like to say that we have participants from all continents, including even Antarctic, because in 2020 and in this year we have some speakers who are working, living in Antarctic expedition, and we have some publication from these speakers as authors, and we have some presentations also. It is briefly, and all information about my activities is available on my electronic resources. You can see some of this here on your screen. Yeah, it's briefly about my conference. And mostly briefly, I would like to see this conference not as commercial product, but like a social awareness rising campaign. I would like to share information. I would like to reduce stigmatization in the field of mental health for all people, because really it's a huge problem, not only for patients, but also for their families.
Beautiful, beautiful. I know that you prepared the presentation, so if you would like to go on with the presentation, then we can do that.
I can see. I strongly believe that the information I am giving you in this presentation would help you not only with planning your future research in the field of mental health, but also with looking after your own mental health. Let's start. I have divided my presentation in two main parts. Firstly, I would like to specify how we can integrate, distinguish the quality of mental health in daily social activity. Then I will clarify what the modern individual main gaps in reflecting and looking after own mental health are. Naturally, in this second part, each of us can compare the presented results with our own lifestyle. Just a minute.
Can you help me with a little bit technicality, just to show the screen and share it again, just the presentation, because I believe we just see the white screen. I cannot see the presentation itself. So just share the screen, and the audience knows that we are really live. We are doing it straight away right now. And let's help Viktor to fix the problem. We can edit again if you want. Just stop sharing and start it again. No, I start to see something. So this is a very important conference, and until Viktor is finding the presentation, I will tell you that I was really happy to connect with Viktor and to find out a way how we can integrate the two summits. And I'm really, really happy you will see all the different speakers from Viktor's conference in the page of the speaker page. And you will see that their nominant names, the names are really very nominant professors from the field who are really working on this professionally, and they would like to change the situation. So Viktor, could you share your screen again? And in the meantime, if you are listening to us, just please help us with telling us where are you tuning in from and what would you like to hear about when it's about mental health. Thank you, Jagatis. Hi, very nice to see you here.
Okay. Do you see my...
Yes, I see. So now you can start
Yes,
to play.
you see my screen, yeah?
Yes, you can start the presentation.
Mm-hmm. Again, from no. Okay. The study was designed using
Here we go. I think I see. So
yeah, I am here.
if we cannot
Okay.
fix the
Do you see my
presentation,
screen right now?
yes, I can. I can.
Do you? Yeah, you can see. Okay, great. I will continue because time is limited. The study was designed using the following aspect. The young generation was chosen as a population source for the study in order to more effectively predict future tendencies in the development of both civil society and mental health of the population in the country, as they relate to the development of global society. The psychodiagnostic markers were defined using data from Mental Health Foundation, Great Britain. The questionnaire was structured in such a way as to represent different aspects of caring for one's own mental health. What I mean? Firstly, it is the culture of interpersonal communication. It is talking about own feelings, reflection of life events, solving of life challenges, functional abilities, aims and priorities, social relationships, etc. The culture of physical activity, it's clear. The culture of eating and drinking, it's also clear. The culture of listening to own body. The culture of social representation, I mean, ask for help, do something you are good at, etc. The culture of mental and physical relaxing, the culture of self-perception, the culture of interpersonal relationships. I mean, care for others, spirituality, etc. Uh, for the appropriate questions, respondents were asked to identify the average time spent on the specific activity in minutes per week and to divide their answers between two aspects of these activities, whether they were enjoyable or mechanical routine. So let me highlight and intricate each of these markers. The culture of interpersonal communication. It is highly important for mental health of any individual to have a communication with other people. It is extremely important for mental health of any individual to share their own feelings, own reflection of life events, own aims and priorities with other people, to present own functional abilities, to give feedback for social relationships, etc. how often and in what way we talk to others about our feelings. What is the quality of this process? Next, the culture of physical activity. Without any doubt, mental well-being is connected with physical well-being. That's why the specificity of doing physical activity in our own lifestyle is a significant indicator of our mental health. The constructs of our physical activity are, firstly, it is daily physical activities, walking, household chores, etc. Of course, it's hard work. Yeah? So we are recommended by Mental Health Foundation of Great Britain to do these activities up to 150 minutes per week, not more. More is not good for mental health. Exercises. It is morning exercises, fitness, jogging, etc. Of course, it's pleasure. So we are recommended to do these activities at least 30 minutes, 5 days per week. Of course, more it's perfect. Play. It is, what is it? It is unstructured activity that is done for fun or enjoyment. So at least 75 minutes per week, at least. Competitive activity. Each of us needs to identify, needs to differentiate her own individuality among other people. We need to get social approval for our skills and our activities. It's like Citius Altius Fortius. Yeah? So in what way we organize our physical activity? How often we enjoy our physical activity? What is the schedule of our physical activity, etc. The culture of eating and drinking. How often do we eat per day? What is the content of our daily meal? How often do we drink per day, per week? And it is recommended by Mental Health Foundation of Great Britain that we have some different content of our food. It is fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, dairy products, oil fish, plenty of water, etc. And of course, regarding drink, we are recommended to drink light alcohol, not strong, but light. 3-4 units per day for men, not more. Light alcohol for women, it's 2-3 units per day, not more. The culture of listening to own body. How often do we keep in touch? Do we enjoy this process? Are we good at listening to our body? Do we understand all? The culture of social representation. How often and in what way do we ask other people for help? How often do we ask various social institutions for help? Is this enjoyable for us? How often do we get social approval for our skills, our activities? It's main questions. The culture of mental and physical relaxing. The mental and physical relaxation is extremely important to keep our own mental health. I mean, doing relaxation, changing activity, yoga, stretching, exercises, meditation, breathing exercises. The culture of self-perception. The marker was defined to specify the peculiarities of self-worth, self-estimate, self-evaluation of own skills in our real life, level of succeeding in professional, educational, social activities. The culture of interpersonal relationships. How often and in what way do we care about other people? In what way do we keep our own individual spirituality? All of these markers were included in special questionnaire that I have developed. As participants of this research were students from different regions of Ukraine, 583 persons. Such targets were defined as crucial for my research: general understanding of mental health and weekly schedule of looking after own mental health. Here are the empirical results of my study. And what about common comprehension of mental health? The students were asked, what is mental health? Only 78% of the respondents weren't able to verbalize and concretize their own understanding or definition of mental health. And only 16% of respondents have defined mental health as emotional health, social well-being, social, personal, and psychic harmony. The students were asked, in what sphere of life do you feel well? The budget assessments were given to the aesthetic and ethic sphere of life, the lowest to political sphere. According to the standard deviation, we can conclude ambiguous attitudes towards the religious sphere. The next slide demonstrates the problem how modern generation looks after their own mental health. The culture of interpersonal communication. The average time that modern individuals spends for talking about own feelings is only 172 minutes per week. However, 77% of respondents are disappointed with emotional feedback of their partners in interpersonal communication. The culture of physical activities. Only 8% and 5% of general time for doing walking and household chores are enjoyable for person under study. But 88, 90, 75, and 93% of general time for doing morning exercises, fitness, jogging, competitive activities are enjoyable for persons under study. 68% of individuals haven't got any special systems in their exercises, fitness, or jogging. 83% of respondents haven't got any special system of eating. Often combine eating and other activities, what is not good for mental health. The culture of listening to own body, the culture of social representation, the culture of mental and physical relaxing. 93% of individuals haven't got any regular system of relaxing activities. Interpersonal relationships. 87% of individuals aren't satisfied of feedback for their taking care activities. In order to sum up, I would like to say that the results of this investigation assist to identify avenues to reduce the impact of social frustrators, improve the mental health of citizens, and establish the social stability of their interaction. I would like to mention, I strongly believe that the information I have given you in this presentation would help you not only with planning your future research in the field of mental health, but also with looking after your own mental health. So let's be mentally healthy. Thank you for your attention.
I love that you brought every concept that is normally not mentioned everywhere else, like physical activities and everything like that. I will mute you a little bit because there is an interference, and then I will mute you back. So there is a lot of different things that you mentioned, which are really, really important in our lives. And most of the time we don't pay attention, like simply just drinking water, especially today, working in front of the computers all the time and you are running after time, you forget to do that. And also eating, to take the time for the eating and watch out for the quality of the food, watch out for the physical activities, watch out for relaxation. And we are trying to show the whole picture for the people here at this summit about the whole circle of life, how you can integrate this, what, for example, Viktor told you just right now, which is a study. It has been an official study, right? And this is an official investigation that had this result. And it would be perfect and very great if all the people around the world would just think about it and would just implement one small thing in their lives, and that would change how the quality of their lives would improve, right? Tell me a little bit more about where can we read about this? What will you do at the summit before I'm closing down this presentation? How can people read more about the international conference that we will jointly put together on the 21st of October? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. I would like to specify that the main idea, not only to eat, to put a lot of food in your stomach, yeah, it's not good, but enjoy. You try to commute psycho and somatic, and you try to enjoy of food you eat. I know that according to the Indian tradition, you don't allow to at once eat something. You should to keep this for some times in your mouth, in order to feel, to enjoy this taste, to enjoy this product, to understand that how many useful elements are in this food, what is healthy for your body. And when you're doing activity, it doesn't mean that you should to do something. You should to do something and feel, oh, it's good for me, I am happy. Only in this case you can keep your own mental health. It is first. And regarding my conference, I am sending you a link to my organization, to my website, and all information are available there. And I would be happy if you join this conference. It's free. It's not paid for. It's free attendance. All information on links will be shared with Andrea and will be shared on my website.
Thank you very much, Viktor. So I will play the whole summit on the 21st of October. I will broadcast it to the viewers of the Global Empowerment Summit. They will have it in their calendars and they will join you and they will learn more about mental health. And I believe I saw some people from Italy also. They can explain the best way how to enjoy food. And I know the different cultures are enjoying it on different ways. And it's so important to be in the present and just enjoy whatever you do and not rush through life. Right, Viktor? So that's what we learned from you. And I'm super happy that you were here. Thank you very much. We will see each other very soon at another interview, and good preparation for your international conference. I'm looking forward to see you all on the 21st of October, and with you we will meet at another interview soon. Thank you very much, Viktor. Bye-bye. Hello, and we are switching studio just like in a normal TV show. Elmarie is already here.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Elmarie. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Just adapting to the new time zones. So this is now 2:30 in Malaysia, so an 8:30 in France. So yeah, it's a bit of a switch, but it's okay.
I'm super happy. I'm super happy that you're here with us for the second year. And if the audience doesn't know Elmarie, Elmarie has just moved back to France from Malaysia, which is kind of like was her dream. And here we are today to talk about her French adventure and everything else around her because she's just an amazing lady. I got to know her last year, and everything what she does, I mean, all of it, it's just beautiful. She's also connecting the world. She's also helping a lot of underrepresented groups. She's supporting the creatives by being a creative herself, and now she's up to France to open her own inn and Airbnb. So let's just start at the beginning. Who is Elmarie? Introduce yourself for those who haven't met you last year.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you for the invitation. So I was born in South Africa, and my great grandparents actually came from Europe. So from Germany and also from Holland or the Netherlands, and so I guess there's some kind of something in my DNA that speaks to me when I'm in Europe, because people ask me, why did you go to France? Because I left South Africa in 2000 and lived in the Emirates for 10 years. And my work then transferred me to Malaysia, where I also worked for 11 years. And yes, I had friends who live here. My son is in Europe. My friend is in Europe. And I decided to move here to continue my work because I work in education transformation. And nowadays we can do things online, right, from wherever we are. So I will still keep my companies in Malaysia. We work with governments, we work with independent school organizations to transform the quality of teaching and learning and leadership. And I also work in thinking skills development. So that's a part of my passion. So developing thinking in young children and also emotional intelligence. So yeah, that's a little bit about who I am.
A little bit about everything what you do. I'm super happy to meet you, and I have to tell to the people again that you did also the Inspired Summits, and I'm really happy that I was part of it. I was supporting it last year, and this year you chose a beautiful video that I will play later on during our sessions in October, because I believe we all are the people who love people, and when we meet someone who is sharing honestly, it's just the most magical moment in life, like, right, Elmarie?
Yes, I think, where people are wired biologically for connectivity. We have mirror neurons. They say that's the biggest discovery in neuroscience in the past century, when they discovered the fact that human beings actually have these neurons that mirrors what they see in other people. So, and that is what connects us. And this is why things like Facebook and all these social media platforms are so popular, because people need people. Like Barbara Streisand sings, and we are more than one. I mean, if you say 1 + 1 together, it's not two. It's more. There's something magic that happens when people come together and share, and that synergy of ideas that happen. And I'm a big networker and connector, and I really believe that we all should be kind and we should see the best in each other, because the world needs a force of kindness. So yeah, and that's why we
Beautiful.
get along, right?
Beautiful message. We are very aligned in that. I still remember our first meeting when we got introduced, and I remember all the different earrings and everything, and how you were there, and we were just like, oh, that's Frida Kahlo. Oh, I know her. And I remember you, and yeah, it's something magical. That when people aligned, and when people meet, or just like two person who resonate or vibrate on the same level, it's really a magical connection. And
this
let's
is why this conference of yours is so amazing, because I mean you've gone just so big this year, because I mean that's your philosophy, right? And it's that's why I have the conferences every year as well, because it's sending that message to the world, and people who come together will give something to each other.
Exactly, and then we are creating something together, which I couldn't do that. But using the diversity and the different perspectives, something totally new will be created. And maybe
Yeah.
my original idea of how to build this platform and how to create the digital ecosystem will change, just because I interact with 200 more people, and we find ways to make it better.
And that is such an interesting thing, because when I was in Helsinki in 2019 to attend this incredible conference, one of the speakers mentioned the importance of diversity in your own team. So, we tend to be attracted to the same kind of people, but it's a very important message and an important guideline for yourself, is that when you put a team together, to think about diversity in terms of age, race, sex, religion, because all those blind spots, if you have people who just think the same way, you will exclude other people naturally. So you have to purposefully say, do I have somebody who, comes from a different generation? Do I have somebody who comes from a different country or has a different perspective? And we shouldn't see that as threatening. We should see that as opportunity, to come together, to include as many people and points of view as possible.
And you have worked all around the world. I would love to touch on this point. Like you were traveling, and you also have a lot of ambassadors all around the world. So tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that work.
Yeah, so my business model has always been, I love freedom. Freedom for me, if there's a word that I could tattoo on my body, it would be the wish to be free from the boundaries of a job that I have to clock in at 8 and clock out at 5, free of geographical boundaries, and I want the same thing for the people who work with me. So my business model has always been, I work with associates all over the world. They can still have their own job. They can do whatever they want as long as they deliver the work that we agreed on. So I have somebody who lives in Uzbekistan. I have somebody who lives in Indonesia, in South Africa, in Tanzania, in the UK, in Australia. So that is the freedom. We do contracts, deliver work across the world, and I hope to expand that and to go to more countries, because like you, I love traveling and having those new experiences. And that is the business model. So when COVID happened, it was very easy for us to just continue our work. We didn't face that difficulty of, oh, we've got to close the office, or what are we going to do? The only big change was that we had to change our face-to-face engagements with people to online. So I miss that connection with people a lot. But that's my business model, and I think that is what it should be, right? Technology equips us to do that. So that's how it works for me.
Maybe it would help the audience a little bit if you could explain the selection process, how you select the people that represent you, because maybe that's the point that makes them afraid to work with people from all around the world and make this diversity happen. So how did you select the people? Did you know them first and then offered some position, or you just put out something and they came and you trusted them at first? So how did you do that?
it's a skill. First of all, it's a skills-based thing, right? So when I have a contract that comes in, so last year, for example, we did something on developing some financial literacy modules for the Malaysian government. So I used my network. I have a huge network on LinkedIn and through the Meaningful Business platform. So I use that network, and also look at the skill sets that different people have, right? So, and then also interview them. And there has to be a connection, right? So somebody could have the perfect skill sets, but you also need to have the personality, the ability to transfer the message to audiences, all the skill sets needed. So it's a combination of skill set, of maturity, of emotional intelligence, because I believe working in a team and being able to work independently without me having to look over your shoulder is also really important. So that's how I would select people, based on reference from my network, which I strongly believe in, because the people that I know will not refer somebody to me who will not be able to do the work. Secondly, sometimes you do open it up, and it's that interview process, and that feeling that you have to get. I know it might sound very unscientific, but one has to also sometimes trust your intuition, and that's all part of it. But I like people who are multi-skilled, people who are self-driven, people who are problem solvers. I mean, all these 21st century skills that we want children to develop in schools is so essential for people who work with me. Yeah.
I just slowed down because it was so important what you just said, that there are some super skills, and we will talk about this later at the panel discussion at the summit. But I really love that you mentioned problem solving, because I believe that's something that it still needs development. It still needs understanding how being so flexible by trying new things, by not being afraid. Why I'm doing this whole summit, right? Why I'm not crazy to do this alone. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, I'm 24/7 in front of the computer, but at the end I'm learning so much.
Yeah.
I'm meeting so many people, and I can show people that we don't need anything. You need your microphone, a laptop, internet, and you can make a summit like this. You can create a 6-week summit with 200 people from all around the world. So this is what you do, and I'm admiring you for your work and for the way how you think. But how can we encourage people to think this way?
Yeah. So I've been working and developing thinking skills and frameworks for thinking for a very long time. And I think it starts when children are young. When children are young, their brains are very malleable. They have these windows of opportunity where those neural patterns form in the brain. And it's until right around 7 or 8 years old that a child forms those very, very basic connections. And I looked at Malaysia, South Africa, so many different countries where they're trying to get children to develop these very problem-solving skills, and the skills they need, the innovation, the lack of fear for the unknown, right? So many people are afraid to make mistakes, but mistakes are learning opportunities. So, and that's why I just developed the ThinkWise Little People Big Ideas program, because nobody knows how to teach children this thinking. How do I teach somebody to think? As you said, how do we develop this in people? So this program is absolutely focused on teaching the children those problem-solving skills at a very young age, that they can then build the rest of their life upon. But I say for older people, you have to have a growth mindset, and that growth mindset comes from attacking your fears, because so many of these things that you've mentioned is because we are afraid, because we grow up in a education system where there's a right and a wrong. Your answer is correct, and your everything is about the marks you get, especially in Asia. In Asia, it's a huge thing, right? So children go through a system, you go to university, and it's always about memorizing and giving the right answer. So there's a lot of fear. And the fear is the thing that stops you. Being afraid of being wrong, being afraid of stepping into that abyss of the unknown. But that is where growth happens. So if you don't step out of that and I mean, now we have so many opportunities. There's so many free learning opportunities for you online. You have all these MOOCs, you've edX, you have Udemy, I mean, nothing stops you from saying, okay, let me learn a new skill. Let me do a little course. Let me try something small. Break it up into manageable steps for yourself. But you will never be able to move forward if you keep on letting fear encase you. And one thing that when you talk about design thinking and innovation, one of the biggest skills that these companies have to develop in teams is to fail successfully. So when I make mistakes, I reflect on this and say, okay, it didn't work out. What can I do better next time? What did I learn from this? And I think that is maybe for me always has been the driver, because I have restarted my life so many times. Moving with 2 suitcases and your child to a new country where you don't speak the language. When I moved to the Emirates, it was a big shock on my system. But literally within a week, I had students. I started teaching Arabic ladies in their homes English. They couldn't understand me, I couldn't understand them, but it was a great opportunity for me to learn the culture and to start learning Arabic. And I ended up working there and living there for 10 years, and then moved to Malaysia. And it was, again, a new culture and a new thing. And then after 5 years of corporate world, I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't sit in those meetings anymore. I need people, right? So I decided to step into the abyss, and I said, I'm going to start my own business. I didn't have any clients. I was not assured that I will even make money. But it worked. It worked. And I think now I've done it again. I've come to France. I don't have a network here, but I am convinced that I have the skills to make a success of my life. And if one thing doesn't work, I'll try something else. But that's what keeps you going, right? You have to be passionate about something, and you should learn, and you should fight your fear, because you are the only person that keeps yourself in your circumstance. People will say, oh, well, they make me do it, or I can't do this, or I can't change it. And I just say, take the T out of can't, because you can. If you are driven and if you develop the skills, you can do and be anything you want to be in life.
And if you don't have the skills, you can collaborate. So there is so many ways to solve, right?
Exactly. People are sometimes so afraid to say, I don't know how to do it. So, I mean, you've got people, you've got online, you are just the barrier. You're yourself, So, well, that's. I'm not talking out of theory. I'm talking out of practice, because I've experienced this many times in my life. If you're in a relationship that you feel is, killing you, don't stay in the relationship because of the children. Change your life and take on that new horizon. So, and be true to yourself. That's important.
And you are just doing it because you started, as the title says, your French adventures. So tell us a little bit more about that. I'm so curious. I was so waiting for this to
Yes.
see the inside of the Airbnb, and I hope to see you this summer in France, but you couldn't
Oh,
go
yeah,
there
I
yet.
hope that, I was, as I said, I've always had a natural affinity to Europe. My son has been here for years. My sister is a European citizen. And last year during COVID, I was stuck in Istanbul for 3 months in a hotel room because Malaysia wouldn't let me back in, even though I was a resident, even though I owned 2 companies. I couldn't get permission to rejoin the country. And that was for me the aha moment, or the thing that made me decide that's the end. I'm going to look for a place in France. Now, why France? Because I have South African friends, very good friends of mine, who moved here. I came to visit them in December 2019, and I loved the environment. It's about an hour out of Paris. So if you want the high life, and you just get on the TGV, and in an hour you are there. But I live in this fantastic little town called, I mean, um, let's get to the town a little bit later. But I'm in this little town, and I then started looking online, and they went to look at the houses for me. So with video camera and photographs and everything, and eventually found this house that I'm in. It's enormous. It's got this. It's 5 bedrooms, and it's got this huge loft. I will still share all the pictures of the place, and then I bought it, and I couldn't see it for a year because because of the French embassy being closed because of COVID. So eventually I got my visa. And about 4 months ago, I saw another place, a beautiful little, small little house. And I thought, it's always been a dream of mine to start something like this. So I'm going to start a small bed and breakfast. And I have all these visions in my head of what this is going to be. You mentioned Frida Kahlo, and I'm going to have one suite. We'll have suites of rooms, and one suite will be the Frida Kahlo suite. I can picture it in my head. And I want it to be an experience that people will not be able to forget, because when you go to the small towns, everything is sort of they want something different, but there isn't much different. So I'm going to have a coffee shop, and with my friend as well, we're going to open an art gallery, because my house also has a huge shop area. So she's brought all these paintings, and I love art. So, and I'm going to do my jewelry. I'm just revamping my jewelry website. So I'm so excited about that. And yeah, it's just, this place drives creativity. Wherever you walk, there's these old cobblestones and doorknobs that's interesting. And I have a thing outside my house that was for the horses, where the horses drank water, and it's got the stamp on 901. I mean, gosh, this is steeped in history. And you think of all the people that have been here before. And I mean, I don't know, Europe is just to me, it inspires me. It inspires my creativity. So I hope there's a lot of work to be done. I'm actually busy. Maybe I can share my screen. I've just started removing the wallpaper from my wall. So because I don't have much equipment here, my move is only coming in middle of November, but I'm making plans. I'm telling you, I've knocked out walls. I've removed doors with my small little set of tools that I have with me. And I was very fortunate to meet online my neighbor. So I started an Instagram account called My French Adventure, and he saw it because I tagged the town. Guillaume is our town, and he said, "Hey, I looked at that house. It's very nice, but I've got other ones." So I posted another one about this house, and he responded, "Hey, we neighbors." and he's been so helpful. He and his girlfriend, Morgan and Roland, and they, that's the kind of thing that helps you. And I'm at the moment hosting 2 students from Rennes University. Even though I don't have furniture, I borrowed 2 beds because I said I'm going to do this. And they are here for the revitalization of the town. So I can really recommend people, if you want to make a change in your life, come and buy a property in the more rural France. And don't get put off by the word rural, because as I said, I'm an hour from Paris. I'm close to Le Mans, and only 20 minutes drive. So there's big cities nearby. But for incredibly affordable prices, you can buy a property the size of, I mean, my house, just look at this, for such a low amount, and you can really start a new life for yourself, So, yeah, that's my French adventure.
I'm picturing you. I remember talking to you about Under the Tuscan Sun, this movie,
Oh, yes.
when the girl is going to Italy and then exactly doing the same things, like revamping the whole place and creating an Airbnb and helping the local people are helping her to do it. And
Yeah, I've been, I studied French at university. Gosh, I'm afraid to say how many years ago. So, of course, that just a little bit of that was stuck. And then when I made this decision, it was actually longer than a year ago. But am on day 603 today of Duolingo. 603 days in a row. I've done 40 minutes of 42, sometimes an hour of French, and it's really helped me. I can understand a lot. The speaking is still a big problem, but I have a limitation of fear that I have to overcome because I don't want to make a fool of myself. So you have to push yourself, and you have to push you have to push your boundaries, right? So that's the big thing. Still, is I need to upgrade my French so that I can fully communicate with the local people, because I believe if you make a move like this, you have 2 choices. You can expect people to come to you, and you might find yourself isolated and alone and unhappy and blaming other people. Or you can say, what do I have to do in myself? And what actions do I have to take to become part of this new environment? Because I am a foreigner, so I have to involve the local people. I want to employ local people. I want to use their skills and demonstrate that I am of value to them. Not how, that's how you have to think. And don't assume you are superior. I've traveled the world and I'm this and that. Forget it. It doesn't matter to them. What's important is, how are you going to make their lives better, or what are you contributing to them? And that is, I think, a mindset that everybody has to have, is doing something good in the world around you. And it's the way that you have to be, I believe. Yeah. I've lost your sound.
I love the way how you said that you have to serve the people, and not the people are serving you when you arrive into a new environment. And I believe this is so mutual, because once you help them, they will help you back. So it's helping your integration and your growth. I'm really loving this thought. Jagatiswari is here with us, and she's saying she will be in Switzerland soon because the daughter is moving there. So she's saying you will keep in touch.
Oh, please, yes. I mean, I'm just waiting. So many people said that they're going to come, and I have this beautiful loft. You should just see this. It's just amazing. It took my breath away. It's huge, above my house, and I decided I'm going to make that my house, right? So if you can imagine the huge ceilings and this huge space, and I'm going to start working on converting that. So then the rest of my house that I now have, plus the B&B, would be spaces where people can come and stay. So, I already proved I can host people even without furniture. So you are welcome, and I think that would be part of the contribution I can also make to the town, is if people come and visit, and they spend money in the shops, and there's new life in the town, So, but there's a lot to do in the town itself. There's a fantastic old chateau. It's beautiful. It's just breathtaking. And then very close, about 2 kilometers from my house, is La Plage, which is a lake and a forest area. So people go, and in the summertime, it actually has a beach. People go swimming there. You can have all the nature trails. You can do archery, and they have all the stuff, climbing in trees and whatever. And then you've got the Le Mans race course. You've got Paris just an hour away. You just jump on the train and can go for a nice Parisian adventure for a day or two. And then all the local towns. Every town has a beautiful church or a cathedral. And so there's so much to do. You are in the Loire Valley, close to the wine producing. So, and I mean, let me tell you, wine is cheap, right? If I will show you which direction am I going to take this now? There's my little wine collection that I got in the week. It's not like I'm drinking wine all the time, but compared to Malaysia, for €2 you can buy a fantastic bottle of French wine. So let me tell you, if that isn't a motivation, I hope that will help people to say I could go back to bottles of wine. Yes, we also already have a network. So I have a South African friend who's a very famous artist. Her and her husband have moved here. They bought a stunning house, and let me tell you, for €30,000. So if you can imagine, I went to visit them yesterday. My breath was taken away, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful place. That's the kind of investment. So for between 30,000 and 60,000 euro, you can actually purchase a huge place in this area, and it's not too difficult to do. You can get an agent, people help, and it can be a holiday home. You could move here and have a peaceful life, and that's what I love. You just go outside, 5 minutes drive, and you are just in the countryside, and it's so beautiful. And the pace is slower, and I think that is something to consider. Get back to your artistic self, or get back to who you are as a person, instead of the rat race that we sometimes find ourselves in.
And you have the right to choose, right? Like you did, because you could have still the right also to stay in the rat race and do everything, whatever you do, but you chose the peaceful life, and you chose to self-actualize yourself and to create what you want to create. And this is something beautiful and so inspiring. I love this conversation. We will see you one more time at another conversation because we have so much to talk about. I just would like to talk about all your adventures, and I would like to have you you can show us around and how the works are going a little bit later.
Yes, for sure. And you can join me on my Instagram pages. I have my jewelry page, Clear Jewelry, and my own page. And then I have my B&B page and my Thinkworks page. So I've got lots of Instagram accounts. Please join me there. It would be lovely to meet more people. And thank you for the opportunity. And good luck, Andrea, with this wonderful adventure of yours.
Thank you very much for being here, and I also wish you good luck with the Frida Kahlo suite.
You will be the first guest, I hope.
I will do that in next maybe next spring we can visit you.
Merci beaucoup. Bonne journée. Have a nice day, and good luck with everything, and goodbye.
And à bientôt. Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let me just take a minute to wish you a beautiful afternoon. We will come back at 8 o'clock in Malaysia time, which will be morning in the US and which will be later afternoon in Europe. And we will be here with Terry Gani, a TEDx speaker, who will talk about how to let go of your ego. I'm really, really looking forward to this talk, and he's an amazing speaker, so you will see him. I don't have to tell anything. And tonight we are also, because it's Friday, we are on Clubhouse. So join us at the Global Empowerment Hub Club. And then you can join the conversations that we created and all the rooms that are waiting for you in the upcoming 6 weeks. A little bit about the summit. If you haven't checked yet the website, you haven't looked around, I updated it today. So you will see this week's programs, you see this week's workshops, and you can also go into the calendar on the schedule menu page, and you can just choose whichever session you want to make. And then in the calendar itself, you will find the instructions how to watch us. There are many, many easy ways to watch the whole 6 weeks. And let me tell you the easiest ways. If you want to watch interviews, live shows, the easiest way to go is to go to YouTube. You go to my channel, it's on the website, you click on the link, and then you will see what are the different upcoming live shows, and you can set reminders, and then it just pops up, and then you can join the show and you can engage with us, and I'm encouraging you to engage with us. We will be here for 6 weeks. I just counted, we have 295 sessions in total, and it's more than 400 hours of value. And we also have more than 70 plus workshops. Now, how you can join the workshops is that you have to get a free ticket. Once you get a free ticket, you will get the notification and you will get the access to the different Zoom rooms. We have Zoom rooms for the workshops where you can just enter and you can enjoy the 50 minutes with the experts in a small group. And we have also networking parties that are on the Zoom, so you can join in every Saturday. We meet together, we dance together, we listen to music, we change contacts, we get to know each other a little bit better. And then in October, we will also start the secret rooms where counselors, psychologists, and advocates can help you with your problems. You can ask them questions. And this is only with registration only for certain people. So you have to reach out to me if you would like to be part of that. But the interviews and all the talks that we have, it's easy to watch. You just have to go to the calendar or the YouTube channel and set reminders. And on the top of all of this, you can also watch the summit on Facebook, because I am playing this summit on 4 different Facebook sources. You can see it on the website. There are an easy way to go to my personal page, which is same like my name, or you can do to the What Women Want Workshops Facebook page, or you can also go to the Changemaker group, which is especially for the members of the Global Empowerment Hub, where I'm also displaying all the live sessions. So there are no excuses anymore. You can find us, you can watch us. Now the next thing is to join in and to see you in the comments, because without you, this is not a summit. Without you, it's a one-way conversation, but with you, it will become two-way, and that's when the magic starts to happen, like Elmarie said. So see you at this summit. We are here until the 7th of November. Every single day we are coming, and from next week we are really packed with different sessions. So make sure your phone is there next to you. Make sure you are in front of your laptop and you are joining the sessions and you take the most of it. A lot of exciting things are coming. A lot of different things are happening all around. So you have to be there if you want to be elevated, if you want to be connected, if you have problems, if you're stuck, we will light you up and we will help you to get better. We will cheer you up a little bit. So see you at another session from 8 p.m. today, Malaysia time, which will be late afternoon in Europe and morning in the US. And let's enjoy the day. I will have some rest and then I will come back later and see you again. Thank you very much for joining in. For all of those who already bought the free tickets, I'm really, really happy that you are on board, and I'm making my best. I'm working my best to make this a beautiful experience for you. Just make sure you are here and just make sure you are heard. We will listen to you. Have a beautiful afternoon and goodbye. As Elmarie said, au revoir.